What up? What up? What up? It's your favorite podcast with your favorite podcast host. Talking your favorite podcast message. Talking the favorite podcast stuff. What's happening? It's Freewenow. It's Freewenow. Freewenow. It's Freewenow.
Till it is. 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 It is. It is. Backwards.
What up? What up? We back. It's Freewenow.
Till it is the back of the words.
Yes, sirski. Look, we got a great one today.
Amazing one.
And I want to know how y'all feel about this, okay? Afterwards, right? Put in the comments. I want you guys to go read this and just tell me how you feel about it, right? So we got a Bible story today, and we're talking about Samson.
The ultimate crash out.
Okay, so Samson is very gifted. Can't take that away from Samson. You know what? Before I even give my opinion, Samson has super strength, right? Supernatural strength. Oh, Luke Cage type. You know what I'm saying?
He like that.
He like that, right? What you got for the people?
Hey, man. Nothing. Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it, right? Okay, so let's walk through Samson's life, okay? Mind you, Samson has come before David, right? He is, in a situation where he's representing Israel. Again, Israel always in some stuff.
They don't know how to act.
They don't know how to act. Israel don't know how to act. Israel, and to this day, they still in some, right? So anyway, Israel does not know how to act, right? So essentially, they stray away from God's word, and they back in it and got beef with the Philistines. And now the Philistines is now again running their lives.
In control of them.
40 years. 40 years, right? So Samson has been called by God to deliver or begin the deliverance, right, Israel from the Philistine people, right? So crazy enough, right, it seems like in his Bibles, whenever God has some people touched, the mom has some fertility issues.
Barren.
Right? So the mom had Samson's mom cannot get pregnant, right? Angels come to them on multiple occasions, basically trying to convince them, hey, you're gonna have a kid, blah, 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 blah. Husband finally gets convinced, all right, I'm on board, right? I know you can't have a child, but hey, let's get on board for Samson, right? The angel tells them, hey, listen, you have to understand that Samson's strength comes from not drinking alcohol, right? He can't eat forbidden food, right? And it's in his hair, right? You cannot cut his hair, right? The last one is one of the most important ones. You cannot cut your hair, right? Samson comes up, becomes like, all the things that he was called to be, right? So Samson has locks. They describe his hair in the Bible as locks. Do with that what you will, right? So he has 7 locks, right? And he doesn't cut them, okay? Now we're in a situation where we're coming up to this coming of age where Samson is now becoming a man and he can make some decisions on his own.
Okay. So Samson, as we know, the ultimate crash out. First decision. He goes down to a city named Timnah and he essentially sees a Philistine woman and he goes up to his pops and he says, go get her as my wife.
Pretty much. I want her.
This was the first time I seen. I was like, Samson a little entitled. Like he
super entitled.
It wasn't like, hey, Dad, I'm trying to get. He said, nah, go get that as my wife.
Go do that.
And his pops and mom are like, are you sure? Like, there's not somebody that aligns with you. You want like somebody that actually believes in God. And Samson's like, you heard what I said. I want that as my wife.
That let me know right there. He was already a crash.
He's
already had done some things around his parents to make them like, whoa.
Oh, okay, chill out.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He crazy.
So what happens was they go down there like, all right, we're going to go meet the girl. On the way to the city, Samson ducks off a little bit, goes to a little vineyard, and gets attacked by a lion. Now, as they said, the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he ripped the lion apart with his bare hands.
Crazy.
That's OD.
Easily,
Insane.
they said.
Easily ripped. They said as you would rip a goat apart, which kind of threw me off because I don't know nobody ripping goats apart.
I was like, who's ripping goats apart?
Ripping goats
apart. Boy, treacherous.
But they said he ripped the lion apart, right? And then he came back to his parents. They went down to the city. Now, he did not tell his parents that he ripped the lion apart. I would assume because he was in the vineyard and he wasn't supposed to be there.
He wasn't supposed to be there.
He wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? So they go to the city. He chops it up with the girl. They agree on the terms. He goes back to the city. And then he comes back to the city again. Now, in these days, they have like a 7-day feast.
You know what I just caught? The fact that you say he wasn't supposed to be there because he wasn't supposed to eat grapes
or
raisins
or anything without vineyards
or anything dealing with that, because that's where wine comes from and alcohol comes from. So if he's down in the vineyard, See, you just catch stuff. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know you caught it.
Supposed to be there.
You was supposed to be there. That's why he ain't say where he was.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he goes back. They're supposed to have this feast, right? But before the feast happens, Samson's like, "Hey, I got a riddle for y'all." You know what I'm saying? I'm the man. He said, I'm a boast about this line somehow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I have a riddle for y'all. He said, if y'all can figure out the riddle, I will give you guys 30 changes of clothes.
Right.
Now we talking about 30 changes of clothes. He's talking about Gucci suits, Louis V down. So of course everybody's excited. He said, but if y'all can't figure out the riddle, y'all give me 30 changes of clothes.
Right.
So now the people, they can't figure out the riddle because he just made it up. This
Right.
came from his life experience. So ain't no way you gonna know this riddle. So funny or not, the Philistines go to Samson's wife and's like, you better figure this out or we gonna kill you.
We gonna kill you.
I kill you. I'm gonna kill you and I'm gonna kill your father.
He said,
I'm gonna kill all y'all.
We gonna burn the house down with y'all in it.
I'm gonna kill all y'all. Y'all better figure it out.
I kill you. Mind you, the people that are saying this are 30 people from the bride's family. So Samson doesn't even have nobody really representing him
At all.
They saw his life or saw him come up for the wedding, and then they're like, okay. So they gave him 30 people from their tribe
to make it happen.
Right.
So of course the woman comes to it. And this one I find out Samson don't like nagging women. He don't play that. He don't play that.
He does not like a nagger.
He does not like a nagger. They said she cried for 7 days straight. She cried for 7 days straight, begging him for the answer. Actually, she first asked him, she said, how do you have this riddle and you ain't tell me? He said, I ain't tell my mama or dad, so why would I tell you?
Right.
She ain't like that. So she cried for 7 days. So the 7th day, Samson said, all right, gosh. Okay.
Here's the riddle.
Here's the riddle.
Yeah.
So she tells her people, they come back and they tell Samson the riddle. Now, Samson's pissed.
Right.
He even says, the only reason y'all know about this because y'all talked to my heifer of a wife.
That's what he called her.
That's what he called her, a heifer in the
heifer.
Bible.
Yeah.
So he's pissed, but he has to follow up on his word. So what does he do? He goes to a city a couple blocks away and he kills 30 Palestinians.
And takes their robes
Philistines.
and give it to
not
them.
Philistines.
Yeah.
And takes their
Crazy.
robes and give it to them. So he got his get back. So mad, he goes back to his dad's house and he stays there for a little bit. Now, usually when this happens, you have the 7-day feast and then you have a solidification of the marriage, i.e. sex. They never had that.
Right.
So Samson comes back and he's like, I forgot to get the cheeks.
Right. Basically, I
That's
forgot
exactly
to come,
what he did.
As my wife, I'm about to come here and smack.
I'm about to come here and smack. So he pulls up. He said, hey, Pops, where your daughter at? I'm finna pull up on her. He said, oh, you still want my daughter? I actually gave her away to your best man. I gave her away to your best man because I thought you hated her. Now, Samson's really pissed. He said, before I have a reason to be mad, but now I'm blameless in this. Now y'all got a real reason to be mad. So he does another amazing feat. Catches 300 foxes. I've never been around that many foxes.
And I've never been so mad that I'm like, I'm about to catch every fox out here. Y'all, do you want to do this to me? You want to play with me? Give me 300 foxes.
300 foxes. Ties them together in duos. Puts a torch in between their tails and then lets them run free, and they burn up everything. Vineyards, all the food, everything that.
How do you even come up with that? That's how you know he wild.
Yeah.
He a wild dude.
All of the Philistines they pissed. So now, and then he dip after this. Now they're like, bro, who did this? Who burnt it up? Everybody's like, oh, it's Samson and them. They're like, where's Samson at? And they're like, I heard he in Judah.
Right. So, yeah. Essentially, they go to Judah. But the crazy thing is, they know who Samson is. They know how he coming. They brought 3,000 soldiers to get one man. Right? So, essentially, he's like, look, I'll come out if y'all not going to kill me.
If y'all not going to kill me.
If you say I kill you, I'm not coming out. So they're like, nah, bro, we're not going to kill you, right? So he comes out. He's like, all right, cool. They tie him up and they take him back to the Philistines, right, to deliver him like, hey, yo, look, y'all, we got him for you, right?
What's interesting about that is that the people that he was brought to deliver from the Philistines are the people that turned him over to them.
The same people that turned him over to him.
Mm.
Crazy, right? So that lets you know that sometimes when you have a gift and it seems like you can't be tamed, right? You can almost have enemies on both sides, right? So you have to be cognizant of that and be aware of how you steward your gift, right? So long story short, right? He goes to he gets delivered, right, to the Philistines, right? And so they get him. And then after that, what happens next?
He break loose out of the ropes and kill
Oh
a
my
thousand
gosh.
people
I did it
with
again
with the donkey
head.
jawbone.
He said, I've just killed 1,000 people with this donkey jawbone.
1,000 people with the donkey jawbone. He took them all out. Now, these feats are insane. You know what I'm saying? These feats are insane. One thing I will allude to in the Bible, it does say the Spirit of the Lord came over him before he does these amazing feats. So if you get the Spirit of the Lord, you finna do something. You finna do something.
Every time he uses his supernatural strength, and the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him, and the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, whoa.
That's a superpower. He got compound V. He got the super drug. You know what I mean?
No, for sure.
So he takes out the 1,000 people. Everybody's surprised, whatever. He dips off again. He goes to another place. Now, at this last place, this is where Samson kind of goes to his demise. So he goes to the city to get a prostitute. That's exactly what happens. Goes to the city to get a prostitute. And the people of Gaza found out he was there. So they said, oh, we're going to wait for Samson. We're going to wait for him to come outside. We'll be outside all night. Samson wake up at midnight, see the gate is closed, rips the gate off the hinges, puts it on his back and carries it up a mountain and throws it off the mountain. Bro, at this point, what can Samson not do? Bro carried a full gate of a castle up a hill and threw it off the hill.
Crazy, right? So then he falls in love with a person named Delilah, right? So then Delilah, he said, he falls in love with Delilah, right? Delilah essentially, gets enticed by her people to say, hey, convince us to figure out where his strength comes from, right? Now, as I'm reading this, I'm like, okay, this is the third time thousands of men are gathering to not just capture him, but they're intrigued. They want to know, where's his strength coming from? So that lets me know, okay, does he look strong? Mm-hmm. Like, because I can look at The Rock and be like, I know where his strength comes from. It comes from his muscles. You know what I'm saying? He works out. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, if he's doing all these great feats, does he even look?
I feel like he didn't look strong.
He didn't look strong.
Probably looked like a regular dude.
Because, like, how are you so intrigued? I mean, if he's a big dude, Goliath, if it was Goliath, we're not asking Goliath where his strength comes from. You understand? Like, we can see that. Nonetheless, Delilah tricks him 3 times. Is like, basically like, hey, tell me your strength. Samson, he ain't slow. So he's like, okay, my strength comes from this. She traps him and does this and sends everybody to come and get him. He breaks free. He says, hey, she asks him again, hey, what happened? I thought you told me this. You're lying to me. 2 more times, she asks him where his strength comes from. He lies to her. People come and attack him every time, and he breaks free, right? So this is the 3rd time, and he knows Delilah is not who she says she is. Nonetheless, Samson wanted to know where the female's at. Him addicted to the women.
And he hate nagging.
And he hates nagging. Eventually, she goes with the, you don't love me. Why won't you tell me? Right? Like, I'm supposed to be your woman. Like, yada, yada, yada. After days and days of nagging, again, it literally says nagging in the Bible. After days and days of nagging, he tells her a secret. Hey, yeah, if you shave my head, right, I had an oath from God that he'll give me the strength. If you shave my head, I'll lose my strength. Right? People come, after she figures that out, they come, attack him, right, and put him in, prison. They gouge his eyes out, so now he's blind. And she did all of this for 1,100 pieces of silver.
Which is modern day is like 56,000, I heard.
So for $56,000, you allow this girl to blind you, right? And now you're in prison. All right. He shakes out of prison. He asks for God, hey, his hair has grown back. Now he says, God, give me one last strength, one last might of your ounce of mercy, right? I want to break out of here and kill all these people. And the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him.
Break the building down.
He literally pushes down this big, huge tower. The whole prison and everything collapses. 3,000 people die all at once. It was known as his greatest feat to kill that many people at one time.
It's funny because he killed a lot of people while he was alive, but they said on that one day he killed more than he had killed the entire time.
Crazy.
Insane.
Crazy. Right? So let's dive into it real quick, man, and bring some takeaways from this.
All right, so one of the biggest takeaway, right? It's not the big things that bring us down, but the small compromises over time that ultimately lead to tragedy.
Right.
So as I alluded to earlier in the story is, why was Samson in the vineyard? So Samson was grew up as a Nazarite, right? and Hassan said it, but there was 3 things he could not do as a Nazirite. He could not do anything of the vine. Specifically, it was meant to keep him from drinking, but also they didn't even want temptation. So it was no grapes, no raisins, nothing of the vineyard. He couldn't cut his hair, and he was not supposed to be around deceased people. He even got excused from attending fathers, brothers, sisters' funerals if it came to that, right? But you can see the slow compromise in Samson's life. He goes to the vineyard. He kills the lion, then comes back to the lion to take honey out of it because he sees bees and feeds it to his people. Then he's with the Philistine woman. Then he's parlaying with people that are drinking and turning up. Then he's doing all these different things that show his gradual slip away from his promise to God.
Right.
So this shows me in life, the more you compromise, the less boundaries you have.
Right.
The easier it is to take you off your step.
Right.
When you're trying to stop doing something, you don't immerse yourself in that life.
Right.
As God says in the Bible, you run away from sin. He don't say go dwell with sin and think that you can overcome it. He says to run away from it. So in life, the more and more you compromise, the easier or the quicker and quicker you lead yourself to destruction. So one thing I learned about Samson is he didn't have boundaries. He allowed himself to gradually, it wasn't like overnight sensation. It was all a buildup to him being in prison because he gradually compromised his relationship with God. His relationship with God should have been the most important thing. He knew that he was brought here for a specific reason. He knew there were certain things he was not allowed to dwell in and do, but he just didn't care. And that led to his ultimate demise.
No, I agree with you, bro. And I think we both caught it when the Spirit of the Lord comes upon him, right? So what are your gifts that the Spirit of the Lord comes upon you? How are you stewarding those gifts that the Spirit of the Lord is coming upon you on? Right? And again, he's been doing some crazy stuff, but the Spirit of the Lord still comes over him. So it shows you that you don't have to be perfect, but you have to have a cognizant effort to run away from sin, because we're not strong enough to overcome it. If you at the vine and you're looking at grapes and raisins, eventually you're going to want to drink some wine.
Mm-hmm.
I can't go to a vineyard and see raw grapes and think I'm not going to want wine. I can't go to the club, drink alcohol, and think I'm not going to want to spend money and get involved in some bad activities. Don't even go in that environment. Don't even put yourself where you're going to get attacked by lions and now you got to go to superhuman strength. Are some of the attacks on your life coming because you're just not in the right place? Are some of the things that you're doing in life, I got out of this situation, and you know me, I'm a smooth talker. I'm going to get myself. The cops ain't even get me. But in reality, you shouldn't have to tap into your miracles all the time if you align. Right? So when you do have a gift, right, beware of manipulative people, because people are going to want what you have. So everybody was super intrigued by his strength, right? How does he have it? How does he have it? How does he? Don't start believing that you're the reason. When he was in the cave and he came out and he killed 1,000 people with the donkey head, he looks up to God and says, I have done this. I killed all these people with the donkey head. I, me. And now I'm thirsty. How are you going to let me do all of this stuff and then you're not going to give me some water? You going to let me die of thirst? I couldn't believe when he said that. After God had just sustained you through all of this, let you kill 1,000 people. And then he goes on to say, God, you have gotten a victory by the strength of your servant. Essentially saying, your victory is due to my strength. And you going to let me die of thirst? That's a selfish mentality. Go get me that woman right now, parents. That's a selfish mentality. Oh, I'm going to tell y'all, we're going to do this riddle, and I don't even have the clothes that I'm promising y'all. That's a selfish mentality. Oh, ain't nothing that going to happen to me. I'm above the law. I'm above the consequences of life. So I'm going to tell y'all this riddle, and y'all can't solve it. Even though I told you the winnings of this riddle, I don't even have them. So now I got to go kill 30 people to give you the winnings of a riddle that I created.
And another thing I think with Samson, it taught me is that your biggest battle in life is against yourself. Samson was able to do amazing feats. Kill 1,000 people with a donkey jawbone, rip apart a tiger, carry a gate up the hill. So everything outside of him almost came so effortlessly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Spirit of God would take over him or come upon him, and he was able to do these amazing feats. So nobody outside was able to affect him. It was the lack of an internal moral compass.
Right.
That is the thing that steered him off. So it shows me in life that, yeah, you're going to deal with outside things, right? But as Hassan always says, it's not about the physical. It's the spiritual battle that we have to deal with.
Facts.
It's the lust. It's the greed. It's the deviance or deviation from the truth, from God's purpose, from God's plan, from the steps that God ordered you is the truth or the reason behind your destruction. A lot of times we feel like everybody outside is trying to keep me down, but majority of the time it's because we're playing into it by allowing our moral compass to go off balance, by thinking that we don't have true control or not allowing ourselves to have control over our own flesh. The biggest battle you have your entire life will always be the fight within, because it's consistent. Somebody can come in your life and cause turmoil and they'll be gone the next day. Somebody can cut you off in traffic and you'll never see them again. Somebody can, talk trash to you, say something, call you out your name, punch you or whatever, and you'll never deal with them again after that one day. But the consistent factor, consistent thing of life is this internal battle. It's the day in, day out, the doubt, the fear, the thoughts, the actions, the lack of servitude to God. Is all these things that you have to fight consistently. So your most important battle will always be the one with yourself.
Facts. And two things, right? With the battle with yourself, right? Know yourself to know yourself. Know yourself to know yourself. I don't need to be in these environments. Obviously, it seems like Samson has a thing with women. Cool. I know that's my weakness, right? I can't put myself in situations where that's going to be my weakness, right? In multiple occasions, each time he's getting caught up in these situations with women, whether it be prostitutes, whether it be women who are not equally yoked, right? The Bible says be equally yoked, right? In these situations, you need to marry up. Samson's not marrying up. He's marrying down, right? So all of these things comes with knowing yourself. The second thing is, where are his friends? Even Jesus had 12 disciples.
He had no friends.
They looked at Samson when he came, the first wife that he married. The bride's parents, it says they saw Samson, and then they gave him 30 companions from their own city. So it lets me know how important it is to have representation and family and friends. Because when you are coming to a marriage, when you are coming to a relationship, a business deal, right? When you are just doing anything in life, there's strength in numbers. A lot of these situations, Samson probably could have gotten out of if he had a circle around him to hold him accountable. Bro, you just did this 3 times. Why are you doing this? She don't have your best interest at heart. The parents don't have your best interest at heart. They're manipulative. Samson had too many yes people around him. Are you so wild and out of control that nobody wants to be around you? Every time Samson went in these situations, he was alone. Listen, I'm a sharp dude. I read the Bible. I try to do my best I can in life. Nonetheless, I know for a fact I'm better when I'm not alone. I'm better if I got Keith that'll be like, nah, bro, don't do that. You wildin'. These things just happen. What would your life look like if you wrote down everything? We could look at your life the same way we're looking at Samson's life. Samson's life was written out, so it's easy to see these deficiencies. Okay, what if we wrote out your life? What if I wrote out my life? Would I be making the same mistakes? Would I have the same habits and patterns? Will I keep falling into the same environments? Am I keep looking around the same things and having I need a miracle. Oh, let me tap into my supernatural gift, right? Like, use your gift for the right reasons, right? So God will give you a gift, but it's on you to use it for your purpose. Are you using your gift for the wrong things? Samson using his gift to flex, pun intended. He's using his gift to show how strong he is, and then also flex to see ain't nothing gonna happen to me. But in reality, if you keep straying away, eventually you're gonna lose your covering. The Spirit of the Lord won't come upon you anymore. And when the Spirit of the Lord is not upon you, that means you're not aligned. And so when you're not aligned, you won't get your eyes gouged out. You're gonna go blind. Is what you're engaging in, your vices, is it that important that you gotta go blind? That I gotta go in prison? Yeah, he had one last hero effect and killed 3,000 people and went out gangster. But at the same time, he could have still been living and not be blind based off his decisions. You die looking like your decisions. You born looking like your parents.
Die looking like your decisions. You're born looking like your parents. And one thing I also like about the Bible is the artistic nature of how it plays things out. So one thing I think that was missed in this story of Samson, right, is going back to that lion, how he ripped the lion apart. Then he came back to the carcass and there happened to be bees and something sweet inside of the carcass. He reached in, he took it out. So what that showed me in life is a lot of times we go back to things that are meant to kill us or things that are dead because it has something sweet to offer. So think about the relationships you have in your life. How many people have ever been in a relationship where people did just enough to keep you around? They did that one sweet thing for you that made you forget about all of the evil and terrible things that they put you through.
Right.
How many opportunities have you had where it drug you through the mud and one sweet sip of something made you forget about that? How many times in life have you made a mistake and there's one great time that it worked out for you, but the rest of the times is dragging you through hell, literally? A lot of times we go back to things or we try to remove a sweet portion of something that is meant strictly for evil. Now, this is a lion that he killed, is just a carcass, but I think it's a visualization of how we endure in life sometimes. We will go to areas we're not supposed to be in. We will be around women we're not supposed to be around. You will be around people and opportunities and things that you know are strict vices and take you off the path that is meant for you because it feels good in the moment. Because at one time it has something sweet to offer. As God says, a lot of times sin feels good when you're doing it, but all it is doing is slowly killing you. People don't realize, as I said, these compromises, these decisions, it's usually not the first time you make a decision that it takes you out. It may not even be the second, the third, the fourth, or the fifth time, but it's time and time again that you go back to something that's killing you, looking for the sweet joy that you had in it, that you don't realize what it's taking from you.
Thanks.
So understand the decisions that we have in life, the places that we put ourselves in, and opportunities we have. You need to be able to determine and differentiate between something offering you something sweet with a little taste of death on the end and something that's offering you life.
That's deep. I'm taking away from Samson. For all my people that have a gift, for everybody that feels like, man, I'm different. For all the people that's like, I know I have more to offer in life. Whatever your gift is, are you using it for good? Are you using it for your purpose? Are you using it for evil? Are people around you because they love you? Or are you alone? Because when you have a gift, when you are different, when you are chosen, you got to understand that people will be manipulative. You're not that nice. I say it all the time. Sometimes I sit back and I assess a situation. I'm like, I'm not that smooth. It's something else going on here. It's not about me. Don't be I, me, and looking for God to keep giving you miracles, right? It's not about you. Think about your purpose. Use your gift for good, and then you'll be good. Samson, honestly, thank you for your story.
For your example.
Thank you for your example so I can learn. Because who knows? I don't have to bump my head on the dresser to know that the dresser's right there. I don't have to touch a stove to know it's hot. I just read your story. What you got?
Last thing that I want to say, and I think the most important thing, is nothing is more important than your relationship with God. These compromises that take you away from that relationship will rob you of your strength when you most need it. As it says, God is our salvation and he is also our strength in times. Do not allow compromising your relationship with God be the reason that he is no longer your strength.
Freewenow?
Till it is backwards.
Yes, sir. Ski.